Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran. I'm here to do a quick update on what happened to Feral Druids. There's a lot of class changes that have happened recently in Shadowlands beta, and Feral Druid update isn't as big as some of the other classes. However, out of all the Druid specs, Feral Druid is the one class that I'm actually very excited about. I like some of the changes I've gotten so far, and some of the legendaries do look cool. And while all the Druid changes aren't massive, I do like some of the smaller things that happen to Feral, so I want to cover Feral Druids because that's most likely the spec that I'll end up playing in Shadowlands. So let's take a look at what is new for them. Also, I was standing here and I noticed that this bone thing is just slightly moving on its own. It is a little bit unnerving. It makes it give me like a little bit of that Silithus vibes. Do all of them do this? No, just this one right here. So let's take a look at what happened to Feral Druids recently. So I have a post right here. It's a blue post from Blizzard trying to buff the damage and value of Berserk without having to spec into Incarnation, trying to make Shred a little bit stronger as well, especially during your burst. So what Blizzard has done with the Berserk is they made it as close to as they can to Incarnation. Berserk now is basically Incarnation with not as long of a cooldown, or not as long of a duration, and doesn't have the re-stealth capability. Go Berserk, causing Rake and Shred to deal damage as though they were stealthed, and given finisher moves 20% chance per combo point to refund 2 combo points. So this is quite hefty amount of energy give back, as well as the Rake and the Shred, which is not new. However, the ability of Shred itself has been buffed severely, and since it's a non-spec specific ability, since all the specs can use it, I'll find it here. Shred, 40 energy, shreds the target, causing a bit of physical damage to the enemy, deals 20% increased damage against bleeding targets. While stealthed, Shred deals 60 increased damage, which actually is a nerf from 100. Has double the chance to critical strikes, which if it crits, it generates an extra combo point, and generates 1 additional combo point. So Shred by default in an opener now will generate an extra combo point. So I'll Shred, and if it crit, that's 3 combo points from a single ability. Feral Druids have a little bit of a playstyle if you're not aware of energy spending and energy building. Your abilities cost quite a bit of energy to maintain, let's say, a Rake, and let's get a Shred, and let's get a Rip, and let's try to see if we can get ourselves a Bite. You'll run out of energy pretty quickly. So during moments of no energy, you'll press Tiger's Fury to fuel you full of energy and empowering all your dot-based abilities. So this way you want to refresh all your dots as soon as possible. So that's kind of how Feral plays. It has moments of high energy, low energy, and from time to time you'll get clear casting procs, which will make the next ability, usually like a Shred or a Swipe or a Thrash, free. So that's kind of how the spec plays, and for the most part, you get a lot of value on Feral every time your abilities crit. With your abilities crit, you generate double the combo points. So that's kind of like the main play style for you to kind of play around for. This change to a Feral Druids, especially during your stealth moments with Shred, might make Shred more of an ability you could potentially open with. Let's say an enemy doesn't have a lot of health, or putting up a full set of bleeds is not worth it. Normally you would open up with a Rake because it has a stun. But in PvE situations, what if somebody just doesn't have a lot of health and you're trying to nuke it down really quickly? Shred, get all those combo points, build up for a Bite, big old Bite, finish them off, throw it out of there. So this also applies the stealth effect to Berserk, as Berserk makes both your Rake and Shred act as if they were stealthed. Normally the stealth component would be just an Incarnation only thing, and Berserk would just give you a bunch of energy, like it would just increase the amount of energy pool you have and make abilities cost a little bit less. But they're trying to make Berserk as close to Incarnation without you having to always pick Incarnation. This is sometimes a thing about Feral Druids from expansion to expansion, where it feels like, well, Incarnation sometimes is just so strong of a cooldown, you have to pick it. So Savage Roar and Soul of the Forest are just not as good. So instead of nerfing Incarnation King of the Jungle, Blizzard decided to reorganize Berserk to be more like Incarnation, and Incarnation will just have a longer duration, and I believe it will have ability for you to also re-stealth. Also, this reduces the cost of all cat form abilities by 20%. So with Incarnation, you'll still have benefits of a stronger version of cat form that will also reduce the energy cost of combo points, while normally someone like Berserk, I think, makes it so that your finisher moves has a 20% chance per combo point to refund 2 combo points. So you don't have the energy regen thing for Berserk, but you will have the combo points after a finisher, so you won't have to Shred nearly as much. And Shred's giving you combo points, kind of like you'll be able to I believe go into full on 5 common point bite, shred, and that should give you 4 to 5 common points. Then you can bite, and then you can shred, and then you can kind of bite, and you'll have like a little bit of this bursty setup, which is interesting. That's going to be the biggest change available for druids. And what could it potentially do for them? So let me go Sabertooth. I know it's not that strong of a talent anymore. I think most people are trying now to learn Inspiration, but I don't really know what's the strongest in this row. Sabertooth used to be really good, but then they changed it so Bite cannot maintain Rip indefinitely. So you'll need to refresh it from time to time. We'll go for, I guess, Moment of Clarity, just for the sake of making this easier, because Blood Talent, or maybe I could do Blood Talents, actually. I probably could do Blood Talents just fine. 2, 3 different abilities for me to use in order to get the burst up and running, with a Rake, with a Brutal Slash, and maybe I'll do a Shred. So that shouldn't be that difficult. But yeah, so in the opener, I think what I'll do is I'll open up with a Rake into a Rip. Actually, maybe I should play Feral Frenzy. I think I'll do this. Yeah, I'll open up with a Rake into a Feral Frenzy, into a full Rip, into a Berserk, and I'll just do as much damage as I humanly can. Oh, I just got someone else's Adaptive Swarm. Hold on, let me stand next to the enemy. I was gonna click off Adaptive Swarm buff for a second, but I'll let it like swap over to the Train Dummy real quickly, so that Boomy can actually... Oh, we just swapped wrong person. I'm sorry, Boomy friend. It's on this target instead of this target. Alrighty, we'll try our thing. I'm not that great at the Druid opener as much as I used to be. I'm kind of more or less decent, if anything. Alright, so we're gonna go for the big old shreds, big old bites to shred. Oh, with this, actually, you might not have to... Ooh, look at that. Shred, bite, shred, bite, shred. Well, I'm not really getting the energy needed for this whole bites thing as easily, so maybe you might want to delay your Tiger Sphere with this. Oh, Lord. And you actually cannot play Brutal Slash with this nearly as easily. Oh, that is so weird. Oh, that is weird, but different. So normally you would go into Berserk and then with Brutal Slash to get comm points. But now with this change to Berserk, would you actually want to shred now? Because you can shred into a bite, into a shred, into a bite. And maybe you'll want to play a Moment of Clarity at that point then. Huh. Very, very interesting. So now you don't need to go Brutal Slash, and I guess you still can, because it will do decent damage, but during your burst, you probably will not want to use Brutal Slash. Is that how we're looking at it? So what would the opener look like? I guess if you want to, if you have the full cooldowns available, I guess you would maybe do like this. Get all the CDs available, and then you should be good. Get your Brutal Slash just to get the comm points up and running. We'll go one more Brutal Slash just to make sure we have full CDs ready. And with the extra energy that we get from Moment of Clarity and with other Legos, you could actually retain quite a bit of a duration, can't you? So yeah, Moment of Clarity, I guess, would be the way to go, technically. Man, that's a lot to think. That's a lot to absorb. This is a real change. It actually changed things up quite a bit. Sometimes, you know, changes happen and it doesn't really affect you, but this is like a shockwave change. So with the changes to Berserk, it really incentivizes you to want to press Shred during your burst. Because you press and shred, it costs a lot more energy than normally you would with Brutal Slash. So then your own Tiger's Fury at a different time might be better in order to get the max value. Because you can get a bunch of bites back to back. Because you can build up the comm points, full dots rolling, right? And then you'll go into a 5 comm points bite, generate 2 comm points, shred, you got 4. Between 4 and 5 comm points, you can go for a bite if you want to, so you can shred, bite, bite. So as long as you have the energy, you might be able to get a lot of bites in there. That is crazy. But then you'll lose the energy regen or energy reduction on Incarnation. So you have, man, this is... Okay, so how would you properly play Berserk though? Okay, we can probably go for a big cooldowns here. Bite, shred. And we don't have the energy for a bite, shred. Is that how you're supposed to do it? It feels like I have so little energy in comparison. Oh my god, I'm just waiting for my energy forever, it feels like. Bite, shred, but again, I'm getting so many bites back to back, and Rip actually has the full duration. Oh, that is so weird. Oh, this is weird. Oh man, and the damage, I don't even know. I mean, I got a lot of bites in it, but it doesn't really feel like I'm doing a lot. Yeah, so wow, is this better or is this worse? I can't tell. Or am I playing this wrong? Okay, so I mean, I guess I could play Berserk and play it properly how I normally would with Brutal Slash, but then I'd be losing value on those shreds. But then I could probably play Savage Roar for extra energy, couldn't I? Because I'm playing Solar Force right now, where finished moves grant 5 energy per common point spent and deal 5% increased damage. So maybe changing up my playstyle with Savage Roar and maybe going for more clarity for those free shreds from time to time might be the way to go. potentially, maybe, could be. I could also go Feral Frenzy. So maybe I'll go in the opener and I'll go for a Rake, couple Brutal Slashes into Rip, into Feral Frenzy, go into Berserk, go for the Bite, go for the Shreds, into a Bite, into Shred, into a Bite. Do I want to go Savage Roar? Is this the time for me to go Savage Roar? Is this the moment where Savage Roar could actually be really, really good? Is this the opportunity? Because this is extra energy regen, like 10% more, right? Yeah, 50% more damage, 10% more energy regen, and as long as I have it up for the short duration of 20 seconds while Berserk is, then I can actually have this for quite a bit. So in the opener, how would I want to go about it? Because I do need to get a Rip up and running immediately. Oh man, trying to plan around like the playstyle and change to adjust it is so weird. Maybe Moment of Clarity is better because I want to kind of get a big old, I kind of want to get this bursty setup going as fast as I can. So what I'm thinking is opening maybe Rake into a Rip, into a Brutal Slash, into a Savage Roar, Feral Frenzy, have the Bite ready, Berserk, and Bite, right? Maybe have Berserk going before I even get the opener. Yeah, probably have the Berserk going before I go for the big opener. Feral Frenzy into a Bite, into a Shred, into a Bite, into a Shred, into a Bite, into a Shred, into a Bite. And somewhere in between of that, I should get Adaptive Swarm so I can do the extra dot damage. Or maybe I should try not to focus on Adaptive Swarm. Yeah, I'll just ignore it just because it's an extra global. I don't even know where to fit it in order to... I guess you would open into a Adaptive Swarm, into a Rip, Brutal Slash into a Savage Roar, Feral Frenzy into a Bite. I guess, yeah, you could do it like that. I'm just trying to kind of maximize the globals here. Okay, I think I have it ready. I just don't even know where I'm going to put Tiger's Fury in, though. Let's do this. Get the Rip rolling. Into a Savage Roar. Into a Feral Frenzy. I probably should have had the big Bite ready. Shred. Bite. Shred. Bite. Bite. Oh, no, I don't have the energy to get the big bites, dude. I don't have the energy to get the big bites, though. Oh, no, this is weird. Oh, this is weird. This is totally different. Oh, the energy thing. Oh, man. The common points it gives you, but the energy doesn't. Oh, no, 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 no. This is weird. So they're trying to make Berserk a much stronger cooldown. Combined together with Savage Roar for the energy regen it could have. Could benefit it. The extra damage from Savage Roar, while those Shreds are generating extra common points to give you more bites, could also be pretty good. But I wonder how much change this is going to be for your opener. This is I think, while it doesn't seem like a massive change for Druids, I think it's actually low-key huge. Like, I won't say it's like the biggest change we've ever seen, but low-key. This flips Feral Druid a little on its head, and I don't really know how I feel about it, to be honest. This could be potentially a massive, massive buff in terms of the damage you can put out, because you can put out just a bunch of bites back to back to back. So this is interesting. Soul of the Forest, I think, got a little stronger because of this change. Savage Roar for the energy regen got stronger, but I think also Incarnation in a way got stronger. Just because this gives you so much more room in terms of the energy that you have to spend. I kind of want to try playing this together with Incarnation for a second. And maybe we'll do Moment of Clarity for more procs. See if this feels better, because this does reduce cost of all cat form abilities by 20%. It doesn't give you that common points back ability, but it makes, you know, I mean, it's Incarnation. It makes you do a ton of damage. So let me get that proper opener, and I'll save my Tiger's Fury for later as well. So let's get an opener. Let's get our Berserks in here, into a big old Rip, into an Incarnation. We'll just start trying to shred through the enemy. 2 Shreds and a Bite. Shred. Wait, does it actually give you the common points? Oh, it does give you the common points. It does give you the same amount of common points. Energy cost reduced though, but it still does have you the common point function, but it doesn't say that it does. Oh no, but they'll change both those abilities. Oh no, the energy regen though. So neither of them are really that good for energy, because what is it? Cost reduced 32 energy? That's still so low. Oh, this is weird. This is weird. Is there like a certain talent they want us to run? I feel like Moment of Clarity just ends up kind of being like default a lot better because of this change. Man, this is weird. Okay, well that's a lot of bites though. That is a lot of nine bites back to back. That's pretty good. Like, you gotta give him that. That's pretty decent. I wonder if you ever, as a feral, want to go for a 4 common point bite though. So maybe it's just a rogue thing for me, but I keep pressing bite at 4 common points, and It's not like I do it on purpose, it's just I'm so used to playing Rogue where you actually are okay at going for a 4 common point finisher in the end. So maybe as a Feral, I should be trying to go for that 5 common point juicy bite instead, and that actually might be what I need to do, honestly. But I kind of low-key like it. This is interesting change. I wonder if this is going to make Ferals better or not. I think what this is going to do is make Soul of the Forest, Savage Roar, Moment of Clarity, and this whole row bottom here, the row at level 40, more competitive. But also, it'll give you more play with legendaries. So certain legendaries, like there's one with a bunch of energy regen that I really personally liked, where it basically turns Feral into a rogue on the energy regen. Like you could just kind of spam abilities. Look at this man spamming abilities at the train dummy. He's doing a bunch of damage. He has a bunch of energy, just kind of spam it. As a Feral, you have a lot of downtime of just waiting and auto-attacking. So now if you want to play more of this high energy build with certain Legos, you can. Or if you want to play like low energy, but just like an upkeep playstyle with Savage Roar, you can. And Berserk becomes more of a massive cooldown now, instead of just giving you a lot of energy so you can spam more abilities. Instead, it kind of makes it so you spend less time building common points, more time getting finishers up and running. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. This ability is that you're supposed to use on the opener to get a big old rake, or maybe your rake, Berserk, shred, rip, shred, shred, bite. So maybe that's what you're supposed to use it, because I keep trying to use Berserk to funnel big bites, but maybe you can use this together with rips and still get quite a lot of value on it, because it just makes it so much easier for you to establish an opener and establish all of your dots. So maybe that's what you're supposed to use Berserk for. Yeah, this is a very, very interesting change. Again, it's a very small change for Druids, but I felt like reading this, I was like, I think this is going to have a bigger impact than what I expected to have. I think this is going to be a much bigger impact than most people think this is going to have. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that I tried this out on the beta servers. This is interesting. This definitely makes a pretty monumental change for Feral Druids in terms of the legendaries, the talents that you can run, and in terms of the playstyle options that you have. I don't think this is a bad change off the bat. However, if you guys are more better suited at Feral, please let me know if this is bad. Off the bat, please let me know if this is a bad change, because I'm not a Feral main. To me, this looks exciting, but most changes to me look exciting either way. So as a non-Feral main, if you think this is just awful, the worst thing that Blizzard could have done, please let me know immediately. Reach me out on Discord if you need to. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. This is me testing out the changes to Berserk to Feral Druids, which in the end ended up changing out your incarnation. Let me know what you think about the possibility of Blizzard trying to make Berserk, with the changes they've done, to make incarnation a different, slightly better, slightly longer cooldown, or maybe trying to make Savage Roar or Soul of the Forest look a little bit stronger, or make maybe Moment of Clarity more of a preferred option if you wanted to, if you are struggling with all this energy regen. Like, what do you think about them trying to make Berserk a big cooldown instead of just a big opportunity for you to spam out all of your shreds and all of your rips and all of your bites? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts about Ferals, and I'll see all of you in the next one.